Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? So first of all, I have a new mic upstairs. So hopefully everybody can hear me better. I ended up getting the same like brand as the one downstairs. And yes, I can carry the one from downstairs to upstairs, but I already know that A, I'm lazy. And B, Damon likes to he has a channel also, and he has a mic in his room, but he likes to come into my yarn room at night and do voiceover things, and it's just easier for him because I don't really understand why he needs to do it in, like, he needs to do it in there because it's quieter in there, but I don't understand why he uses my mic, but he has whatever his reasons. I keep my mic in there. So I found actually one on clearance that's the same brand. It's just like a step below the one I have downstairs. And I was really happy with it because I was like, then my voice should actually sound like my voice instead of the way the other one made it sound. I bought the other one because I think I showed it on camera before. It's rainbowy and pretty and everything, and it lights up all the rainbow colors, but I paid for that in sound quality. So that being said, I had to get a different mic. I had to. It was driving me insane. So here I am, and I am definitely going to be drinking water. I'm sorry, but I think I told you before, like up here in this room, it is so hot up here, made hotter by my lights. So until it gets to be cooler, and of course the beginning of the week when it was like Heather temperatures and it was like 60 degrees out and even like 53 at one point, of course I wasn't up here then. Of course I wasn't. I waited until it was like in the upper 70s, and that means up here in this room it's like a million degrees. So while I was getting stuff ready for the video, I had my fan on and I was like staring at it longingly, like maybe I could just keep it on low. No, this mic is it's too good. So but I am not complaining because I was so unthrilled with the other one, so that's okay. Hi. I even check this out. I went to Meijer grocery shopping the other day, and look, they started getting their Halloween stuff in. I wish I'd videoed that. There was a lot of people around at the time. Look, they had Halloween coasters, and isn't that like the cutest thing ever? I love it. They had a couple different ones, but I was trying to be thrifty and not spend too much money. And I was like, well, I only need one for up in my man cave up here. So I got the one. I put it next to my candle setup going on, and figured if I have a drink, which I do, I'm much more likely to have one up here too because it's so hot. So anyway, I have an update on, I showed you guys some of my ancient whips that we pulled out of a tote last week or the week before, and you guys helped me decide what I was doing with some of them. So update, one of them is right here, actually. I'm about to show it to you. It's finished. I finished it. How about that? So happy to be able to say that. I'm just gonna show it to you right now, and partially because I, in this room, can do that. So, one moment. I can show it to you back here. How about that? I don't have a bookcase behind me inhibiting this. Or a yarn case, I should say. So I did end up putting, and I assume you can hear me because I did a test back here and my voice carried just fine. Hopefully. Otherwise I'll be editing in a voiceover and you'll be like, what is wrong with Heather? I ended up doing a row on the top and a row on the bottom because I'm me, and I wasn't happy unless I did that. And yeah, I needed to keep this one because it was my first blanket ever, right? They're just granny squares that I had started way back in the day. They were just with Red Heart, just Red Heart Super Saver. I ended up doing the border, here, let me sit back down, just so I'm a little bit closer to you guys, to the camera. Hi. All of this part down here, like not up here, but down here where I'm about to raise it up to, all of this is sewn together. And probably not well, because it's just however I thought it made sense, okay? So, stay. You probably hear some rustling, and that's the next part of this video. Sewn together. It's very flat, right? There's the flat side, and there's the flat side. It's all flat, okay? Now what I did was my ever favorite, I would say ever famous, but I don't think I can say that unless it's famous to you guys. I am famous for talking about it. My famous talked about, famous for me talking about continuous join that lays flat except for this one little where it looks like I kind of whip stitched it, and I know you can't really see it in black that easily. Hopefully with the light you can. So I did continuous join that, and I continuous joined that strip. See, all of these have been continuous joined. So the strip across the top and a strip across the bottom have been continuous joined to all the sewn 6x6 squares. And then I just did 2 rows of single crochet black, and then single crochet in gold, brown, and gold. And I was actually talking to my friend Andy that night, and I showed him pictures of it, and I was like, do you think I need a row of black to finish it off, or should I leave it alone? And he's like, it's really up to you, but I kind of feel like it's done. And I said, yeah, I kind of feel like it's done too. So it's done. So this is an ancient whip that is now done. I'm super happy with it. I super love it. Not because it's anything special to look at per se. Like, I mean, I love the colors. I'm happy with them. But it's not like, oh, look at this great thing that I did. It's called a granny square, you guys. You know, nothing like that. But I did it, and I finished it, and this thing has got to be, well, let me see. I started it when I started crocheting. Been with David. Been with David, oh my gosh. We're going on 7 years now. I spent 2 years between being married and David. So that's 9. And then I got divorced in 2013. I think I learned to crochet in either 2010 or 2011. So that's 2 more years. I don't know. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 years old. Somewhere in there. That's how old this thing is. And, yeah. So, it's not folded up as pretty as it was to begin with, but there we go. For now. There we go. It's done. Now what I decided to do, you guys were right about the Fozzie blanket. I am going to frog it. I think we might frog that together later. Maybe, just if I do a chit chat, we'll frog it together. I think for the long one that was going to be, I don't know, a side to side blanket maybe. I was just starting a different one. And I had the F at the bottom, and the whole thing was black. It was just a long strip. I think I might make that a scarf. I just have to single crochet it continuously long, and I have enough yarn to do that because it's made from Red Heart with Love. And I have tons of that still, so I think I will make that a Fozzie scarf, and either I'll keep it or I will give it to one of the guys closest with either Chris or Rich. So they all live in really warm climates. They live in Georgia and Florida. So I might keep it. I don't know. We'll see. Or I may end up, if I make 4 of them by the time I see them, like 4 more, maybe I'll give them all. I don't know. That part's to be determined, but I will at least finish it because it's, you know, the F looks pretty good, I think. So I'm going to finish that. Then what other whips were we discussing downstairs? The corner to corner, I haven't fully made a decision on, but I do think I'm going to see how easy it is to frog that. I may frog it and still do a corner to corner with a bigger size hook. My grandma's blanket with the yarn, well, it's my blanket, but like I did all the work, but with my grandma's yarn. I think I am going to keep it where it's at and just add a black border to where it's at and leave it long ways instead of trying to do any more. And I'm not going to unravel it or throw it away. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. And have my grandma's blanket. That might even stay up here with me somewhere. So that'll be an easy finish. I may even have that. Maybe that'll be my next finish, that or the scarf. Was that it in that tote? It's like, I have a lot more. That's what I'm here to show you today. But oh, the Thanksgiving blanket. Haven't made a full decision on that. I almost pulled that out and was like, I'm just going to start making that today. I had just decided that I was going to use it and see if it was going to be Sandy from Crochet Canada had she suggested maybe to see if it was the really long pieces would make a good runner over here on my smaller yarn shelf. And then I could put like candles there or like my fan on top of the one area, like where that is. And that sounds like a really good idea, and I might do that. But then I had that urge to finish it today. So I guess maybe that one, I don't know, I might have to just leave that for another day to still consider. Undecided. But I have more ancient whips to show you guys. Get a drink yourselves, you guys. This might be a long one. I have piled up around me all of the bags that were back here in this corner. So I thought I'd show you what each one has a project in them that have been sitting around for who knows how long. And we'll decide what we're going to do with them. How about that? I think a lot of them are going to be finishes, but we'll decide what degree. How about that? Yeah. I'm going to start with an easy one because I think I've already made a decision on this one. Let's get my finished blanket out of here. Oh, this bad boy right here in this Halloween tote. I think this was last year or the year before's Halloween tote from either Michael's or Joann's. I want to say Joann's. All right. So what's inside of here? Here's a peek at what's inside of here, right? Not very distinguishable at the moment. All right. First of all, I cannot imagine, was I using this hook with this yarn? We'll see. Hold on. So I have a Susan Bates hook. I have this conglomerate of, oh no, something's attached and I didn't, oh no, I wasn't using that hook. That hook must have just fallen in there. Because this yarn was attached and there is another hook inside of that. And then you can see it a little bit easier. But we have some colors arranged in here in thicker yarn. Because these are all chunky weight yarns. The orange I have in here is I Love This Chunky. It was a clearance yarn that I had. I'm sure I was just trying to use the clearance yarn up. It is in the color Spice. It is, so it's all chunky yarns. It is in it's a bulky 5. I have 1, 2, here, I'm gonna move this to the side. I'll show you that one in a second. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 in here, plus what I'm using up. And it appears that this is all that so far, and it looks like that's done in maybe half double crochet rows. okay? And then I have this Bernat Softy Chunky in this pretty golden color. It is called Glowing Gold. It is a 6 weight, but they're pretty comparable size-wise. I must have felt that way at the time too. I have 1, 2, 3, it looks like I may have 4 of those in here. This is a hot mess, let me tell you what, because I have also got this Hobby Lobby yarn that was on, it just has a sale sticker on. It's so old. Oh my god, that's blowing out. It doesn't even say, like, it's not the orange clearance sticker. And it is Tender Touch in the color Coffee. And it says it's a bulky 5 yarn. It's very soft. I think it's 100% acrylic, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it's 100% acrylic. It's got quite the halo on it. It's definitely an older yarn. I have got, so far I've got 1 of these, but I think I have more hidden in here somewhere. I've got Charisma yarn, the thicker Charisma yarn. The 5 bulky Charisma yarn that is about the same size as this Bernat 6 size yarn. This is in the color Forest, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this makes 8 of these. It's a really pretty green color. I told you this is a hot mess. And then I have what I got in, like, I'm pretty sure this was a Black Friday sale. A Premier yarn, Mega Brushed Chunky yarn. It says it's a bulky 5, and it is in the color Autumn. I can see why I got this. I absolutely love it. And I bet you anything, I had this and the Hobby Lobby yarn, the orange, and I decided I was going to make some kind of giant chunky blanket. I am not, in fact, going to make a blanket like this, because let me show you how big. I bet you already can imagine the size of this blanket. But let me show you, okay? Let me just get all this packed back up. That brown is either in here at the bottom, by the way, or I have it out on my other yarn shelves. And I have reclaimed another Susan Bates hook that I didn't realize had fallen in there. And the other hook that I have in here must have been a suggestion on one of these. It is a size L. That's the hook I had went with. Let's see. So, it's very soft. Folded in half, it's it's here, folded in half. So can you even imagine? It's not that it'd be that bad, like, it'd be nice, heavy, thick blanket, that's great. But could you imagine washing this? Could you imagine? With the thickness of it especially. Now, I know I make some big blankets, but usually I make them out of 3 or 4 weight yarn if they're this big. I would not make them out of a bulky weight yarn. That's very big, and it's, I'm not inspired to make this in just making it until it runs out kind of stripes. What I would do is maybe combine them into maybe a mile a minute blanket, a smaller version, or, I've been kind of on a, like, Granny Square Mania type of kick. I wouldn't mind making, like, thick granny squares. Or something motif-wise that I could, like, watch how it's growing. I wouldn't mind doing that at all, because honestly, this is so very soft and luscious feeling. I think inside of this are the tails, because I don't think I wanted to sew them in until, I decided fully what I was doing with it, because even then I think past Heather had some reserves. I hope. If not, I'll figure it out. But I think I'm going to frog it and do something else with this yarn. Like, it may appear in a blanket. They may even appear together because I do think the colors match. But I don't think it's going to be the giant thing that I had planned at the time, because that is big. So I am going to set that over in the frog pile. You can let me know if you agree or disagree, if you think I should keep it or not, or what you think I should do. Oh, I got some fiber in my nose. What you think I should do with the yarn. But that's where we're going to end with that thought, unless you guys change my mind. If you want to change my mind, feel free, by the way. Oh man, I got fiber like crazy. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on to this bag right here. And these are all going to be like fall or Halloween bags, because that's for the most, well, all of them but one, I think. Because for the most part, that's all I own. So in this is this year's. I just happened to find this project, and I was like, I'm going to stick this in a bag. But it's still quite old. I think a lot of you may remember this if you've been around for a while. So inside, I have some, is this one attached? All right, let me not yank on that one. It's attached. I have some Baby Bee Sweet Delight yarn in black, and I remember I had to get this because it was one of the 3-weight yarns I could find in black. So I have 3 of these, and I have an attached one. Now this is going to have some dog hair on it, because where I found it was someplace where it had fallen, and Abby had found it for sure at some point here. And because I didn't find it and she did. Can you recall what this is just by looking at it? So let me scoot these out of the way before they fall somewhere undesirable right now. I'll scoot that over, because there are multiple parts to this. Maybe now you'll remember. So I had done a very full review. I'm actually still getting comments on it. Thank you to everybody who's watched it. For Lion Brand, when they put out Moroccan Nights yarn. And I still maintain everything that I said about that yarn. I really do like it. I haven't bought any more because I just haven't needed to. Like, it hasn't made it to like my top 10 yarns or anything. It hasn't been something I've needed to buy. If they put it on like clearance, I would want to get more of it because I do like it. But I haven't, they haven't, and I haven't, you know. But these are all strips that I had made to show you guys the colors and the color transitions, and they're just like double crochets. I double crocheted up every single one of them. And if I hadn't finished them, I don't remember if I finished them at the time or if I just went through a full transition, but at some point later I did finish them then. And what I ended up doing was adding the black yarn to make them all the same length. So like this one is the same length, because some of them just didn't, for whatever reason, didn't turn out to be the same length as all the other ones. And then I added a little bit more length, I guess. So like these are the different colors with some black added to the ends, and then I bordered each one also in them. And I'm gonna put those away as I'm showing you them. I remember really liking this one, but there's some more black at the end of that one. And I did get all of the black on all of them. I believe that one was Magic Lamp. I do really like these a lot. And then that one was it Sultan? Was that the name of it? Yeah, I think so. And then we get to the part where I had decided that I was going to continuous join them together for blanket size. And that's why I wanted them all to be the same size too. Where I ran into my problem is, this is already a pretty decent throw size. And it's pretty. It's very pretty. But I had what, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this was 4 panels, right? And what I just put back in the bag, which I should have counted, but I'm a dummy head. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 5 panels left. So my options were pretty much, do I want to do like a second side and make it a double length blanket and then just add black to another one and make it stretch all the way across and make it a bit longer? Or do I want to make maybe 2 blankets from it and one will be just a little bit longer than the other one? Or like, what do I do with it? And I didn't know, so I just didn't. I just left it and it went to the wayside before I made a final decision, and that was that. And then looking back on it, I don't see what my big hang up was on it, I guess. Like, because I think I've already made a decision. I think maybe taking the time away helps too. But I know, here, let me try to take this yarn with me before I end up with the length of it. Because here's the whole blanket. Like, I think it looks really, really pretty. And, like, it's a good throw size blanket. You can see I alternated the black to each different side. It's almost see-through with the light. It's pretty thin, and they're both pretty thin yarns between the black and the... it almost makes me want to make a double-sided blanket. I'm not going to do that though. It would just be a nice thin blanket. Like, honestly, it's very soft. This yarn is very soft. Oh, also, I remember I stopped because I hate this yarn. The Baby Bee. If I was doing a review on the Baby Bee Sweet Delight, I don't know if it's just the black or not, because I know people like it. I hate this yarn. I will never buy this yarn again. When it's come up on clearance, I refuse to buy it. I hate this yarn. The reason being, I don't know if it is so staticky. It's awful for me. Like, I don't like static. If you guys can handle it, and if you, like, I know there's people are gonna be like, oh, I handle static this way. That's wonderful, and I'm glad, and man, more for you guys, but like, I don't have the patience for it. I hate it so much. Even though this did fall, like I said, in Collect Abby hair, and I know, like, okay, I'm a dog owner, but like, I don't think it would have collected or still had half the hair that it has if it didn't have the static cling that it has. Because the Moroccan Nights doesn't, it's the Baby Bee that does. I hate this yarn. Anyway, I think I'm just going to put a border on this one. I think I'm going to make that one slightly longer. And I think I'm going to call it a day. Unless you guys have a different suggestion. I could even make them roughly the same size by putting a thicker border on the top and bottom of this one. And then they'd be at least like kind of matching. But I think just stepping back and not dealing with it for a while. I think that cleared things up, and that's what I think I want to do with it. So what do you guys think? I think they're basically done, so I'm definitely not going to like frog them or anything, and they're meant to be a blanket, so they're not going to turn into something else. So yeah, I think I found an answer for that one, which is not to frog. So, maybe I'll do one more and then I will make a part 2, because this is actually already a pretty long video, right? So, let's see. Which one should we pick? I'm gonna pick, I'll do 2 more because this one's pretty easy. This one will be a pretty, in my Halloween bag. I got this one from, this one was a bag from Meyer. And inside of here, you can see that is, we got some green and gray going on. And I think this is a fairly recent project that just went into a bag. I think you guys will probably remember it. But I had some cakes of clouds. Some cloud cakes. I had made granny squares. At the time, I only had one of, this one was in the color kelp. And I had made 1, 2, 3. That one was almost a, no, I guess it is 2 different colors. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pretty big squares, and then it made almost 9. I had those, and then I have, put that to the side for a second. I had 2 of these, which are not the same, obviously. They are the color shorebirds, but they kind of matched it. Kind of. At least went with it. Not really matched it, per se. And what I thought was I would do squares with the 3 cakes of this until I couldn't do squares anymore. And just connect them with this gray, which is cloud gray. Probably just my usual join, and just have a granny square, like a solid granny square blanket. And I think that Michaels, we all know, well, probably know if you've watched some of my Michaels videos lately, that they brought back cloud cakes, granny squares. They brought back cloud cakes, and I think that either kelp or shorebirds, I hope it's kelp, maybe it's both. I hope it's kelp is one of the cakes. I can't remember, so I'm gonna have to look. So before I fully decide which way to go, I'm gonna look and see which cakes they have. I know they have, on the special ones, they have poison ivy, and that's a lot similar to this this kelp. Not exactly. There's less blues and other greens, but it's similar. It's more similar than shorebirds. Let me put it that way. So what I might do is get some of the poison ivy and mix it in with this if kelp is not available. And otherwise the plan would just be to use these up and continue to use the shorebirds with it, because the colors do look fine in my opinion still. Like, nothing's changed as far as that goes. And yeah, that's it. Like, I think I will also continue these on, because I already have, you know, quite a heaping load. And like 9 may not be a lot once I get the square finished, but they're quite big squares. So I think that I'm definitely not, like, I'm not frogging this to begin with. I think it's a good idea to continue this one too. What do you guys think? What do you think? Like, do you think I should just continue on with the shorebirds and the kelp? Or do you think that I should... I'm definitely going to look into see if kelp is another one, because honestly, I feel like maybe one more cake of kelp would just finish off enough big squares to make a really good size blanket. But if not, do you think I should get poison ivy instead and do like a separate blanket with the 2 seabirds that I have? Or let me know what you guys think. But I'm putting this in the keep pile. Yeah, I did see that my video switched over to the 33-minute mark, which it does like to separate my voice sometimes. So if my audio is off, I apologize. I'm not going to do the second whip for that reason, just in case it's messed up. A lot of times I try to catch it and stop it, but I didn't this time, sorry. So I'm going to stop this and make this part 2 back to back, basically. So I'll be in the same clothes. I'll be just as hot and sweaty as I am right now. Apologize for that. And I'll be right back. So, but as far as this video goes, I know you'll only be seeing this one right now. So thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think I should do with the whips that I did show you, and if you agree with me getting rid of the one that I did show you, what you think I should do with that yarn. Maybe that would be a good idea, so it doesn't just go back on my shelf. And yeah, I will be right back with my next set of bags. So yeah, Ancient Whip series. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll talk to you soon. As always, you know I love you. Bye, guys.